Welcome to Live Edge, episode number next. I'm Matt.
I'm Amy.
Welcome to the show. On tonight's episode, we're going to talk about 3 tips to help you sell more woodworking projects.
And to get us started, let's welcome Rose Hopkins to our One Before Supporter Club.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Now, first up, we'll give some shout-outs. Stewart's. It's pulling too much data or something. There we go. We're back.
Oh, are we back? Goodness gracious.
It's not meant to be.
Everyone else in the house off their devices.
Nobody has on devices. It's just our internet so bad. So bad.
Restart your router.
Yeah, but then it kills the stream and then we can't start it back.
Are we back?
Everything reset, so looks like we're better, so we'll see if we're back, and then we'll continue on.
All right.
We lost like almost 100 people. Which I don't blame them.
No, I don't either. Have to wait to do the live streams till Starlink shows up.
You're probably right. We're this close to 4 years running on the show. And it seems like the internet has gotten worse and worse.
It is. The internet's been...
Especially the last several weeks. It's been really bad.
It's been ridiculous. It has not allowed us to do the show at all.
You hit the member thing. Rick Calder, thank you for 37 months of membership. I'm here finally, and we're buffering.
37 months of awful internet, huh?
Yeah, you suffered through. You suffered through. There we go. I think we're back, maybe.
What makes you think that?
People are coming. I'm still here. It's back.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Looks good on my end.
Oh, mine's back on
you're
too.
back.
Okay.
There we are. So we're back.
Y'all, it's been worse than ever. Nobody in the house is on anything. My iPad is on cell data that we're paying a separate plan for just to do this. It's awful. And Starlink still hasn't come in yet.
Yep. So we'll start the show.
Yeah. So let's look at these again.
Shout out to Stewart's Woodworking or Woodworks. He sent us this star for the Christmas tree. If you don't know, we usually have a tree back here, but it's literally right there. We just didn't move it over before the show. Thank you, Stewart's. It has 731 Woodworks engraved on it, so it's really, really pretty. And then Miss Louise Corliss sent her maple leaf. Maple leaf and a snowflake Christmas ornament. One will go on this tree, and one will go on our sentimental tree. So
that we keep in our bedroom.
Thank you. Yeah, if y'all could share this right now, that would help us a little bit because we lost quite a few people.
Well, they're coming back
because of the internet. But anyway,
and we don't blame you.
I don't blame you. I'd have left
it.
I almost left myself.
He did. He was like, "I'm just going to call it," and I said, "Wait, just try to get it back going." Yes, it was engraved. Oh, by a hand router. Stewart's.
Oh, very cool, man.
Engraved by a
very
hand
good
router.
job. Very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive. I don't know how you did that.
I can't do it that good by hand.
That's good.
That's funny.
All right, so 3 tips to sell more woodworking projects. First step is this dial-up internet? No, it is not. It is.
It feels
we're
like
supposed to be getting 1,000 down and like 300 up, and we get at most usually about 30 down, sometimes 1 or 2 up, if that. Anyway, first step to selling more woodworking projects. It's going to sound overly simple, but you just have to tell people you have stuff for sale. Mm-hmm. And you can do that in a variety of ways. You can post it on Facebook and just say, hey, I have this for sale. That's how we started. She helped me stage it up real nice. We'll talk about that. And then you just take a picture of it and post it. Just let people know you're selling stuff.
MB on here. I like your logo, by the way. Do you see MB's logo? I like that. Says, tip 1, make something people are foolish enough to buy. I like that. I like the way you say that because aren't we all kind of fools for something that we're going to buy? Mm-hmm. So find a need, fill a need kind of deal. I like that. Any
cordless or brushless, cordless jigsaws under $100, Awesome Woodworks. I would look on Amazon at the Skill brand. I believe you might can find a combo on those. And also Flex Power Tools are having a flash sale today only on Lowe's, and they might have one. So I would check their first 2 first. Tip number 2 to sell more woodworking projects is to take good photos. That makes a big difference. Or if you're posting on Facebook, take a video first. Set it up really nice. Put some nice stuff on it. Make it look real nice. So, for instance, when she set up my first woodworking projects that we sold, it was a set of outdoor chairs with a little table. She put some pillows in there. She put some drinks on the table.
Like coffee.
Coffee, drink looking things, and put a rug down. And so it was in our garage. So I backed up, took some pictures of it, and it just looked real nice and inviting. And that's what helps things sell. If you can make a product people want and then post, good pictures of it, then it'll go a long way to getting your first couple of sales.
Yep.
And tip 2 from MB says, ask what else they like to see and make more.
That's actually a really good idea because a lot of times you may not know what is selling in your area or what would sell. And a lot of times just asking the people is a good place to go. So sometimes that can be kind of difficult. But if you have a seller, because that's kind of how Matt did it when he started, he would ask people, or tell people to let him know if there was anything in particular that they would like for him to make. And that usually turned into something else.
Yep. So. Tip number 3, wash, rinse, repeat. I agree with that.
There you go.
If it's working, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just That's what I did. When the outdoor furniture sold, I just made more and made more and made more until we started getting those custom orders.
Baby.
Andrew says, your internet is likely bottleneck at some point. If you're using the rented equipment from your provider, we are. That router is likely your culprit. All that's leaving here as soon as Starlink gets in and we can see that it's going to work.
Yeah.
It's all been ordered. One part come in. We're still waiting on the rest. So I would love to tell them to come get their stuff.
Yeah, because y'all have no idea. We've stopped calling them, and we were never ugly to them or anything, but we called literally 2 to 3 times a week begging them. We were like, look, we have proof. We can show you. It never works. And they would come out and they would say, well, it looks like it's working from our end. And I'm like,
it ain't working in here.
There are hundreds of people that would tell you it doesn't.
Exactly. Facebook has been, Yellowhammer Woodcraft says, Facebook has been absolutely instrumental in my woodworking business.
Facebook, yeah. A lot of people make a lot of business from Facebook. Hey, baby. What is going on in there?
Sounds like the dishwasher is beeping.
Our dishwasher's going out too. It's in there yelling. Maybe it's using the internet.
Maybe. Miss Louise says, Matt, in all your searching on tools, have you run across a company specializing in tools for women? There's actually a lady who's making tools for women now, and I
can't remember her name.
I don't remember her name.
We took a class with her.
Yep, and she's making power tools that are basically made smaller to fit in smaller hands and stuff. But with just as
much power.
But also have, the same capabilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're, I can't, if I knew her name, I would tell you, but it's out there. And I think they're pink, if you like pink.
Yeah. I'm not sure if all of them are, but yeah, I'm pretty sure she had a pink line because that's what I remembered about it. We took a class through Daryl Ease with her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome Woodwork says, have you tried the 24-volt Cobalt? I have not.
Come here.
I heard they're pretty good, though, but I haven't used them.
Reboot the dishwasher. Yeah, we need to. Oh, I don't have on one of my T-shirts today.
Andrew says, can you hint at who it is? It's Vive Internet. They're just a local internet provider, and that's the only one here anywhere around. You can't get any internet from anybody else other than them.
And in all fairness, our son has Vive. He lives on the other side of, about 3 miles from us. He has Vive, and it's amazing. Never spotty, never goes out, never has trouble.
Just us.
So I've told Matt, I'm like, we really should start going to our son's apartment and just taking the laptop and doing a live from there.
Yeah,
because
that would be better.
I mean, he's, honestly, it would be better to have internet versus the background and the lights and all that.
Rex Arney says, what's up, Law Dog? Former. What's up, man?
Uncle Greg said hi to you, Mia.
Mr. Jim says, hi, Matt and Amy. Looking forward to seeing you on tomorrow on IDC Woodcraft. Yep, I'll be on IDC's live stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll share it on my community tab tomorrow. If you want to come over there and check us out, we're going to be talking tools and all that good stuff.
Cobra Pup says, my wife is making some tools like DeWalt, but she calls them my fault.
That's funny.
That is oh my gosh.
Let me jump out and grab that.
I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but it is like yelling. Andrew says, I'm in rural northeast Oklahoma. I know the feeling. A router update would be about 80% shot at fixing your issue. So we actually threw a fit with Vive and begged them to switch out the router. So they did, and it didn't do any good. And then we kept calling them, and we had a new tech come out, and he said it was something about that when they replaced something, they didn't replace some of the wires, and the wiring was old. which didn't really, the outside wires. So he replaced those, saying it would fix that. That didn't do anything either. So I don't know. But then they showed up without us calling. They showed up out of the blue one day and said that we knocked out the whole subdivision that we live in. And we were like, what are you talking about? And they said, is your internet out? And we said, yeah, it stays out all the time. And they said, oh, well, your house just knocked out every other house here.
They said
And I
that
was
our
like,
antenna
what?
wire was loose or something.
He come in and said that I hit the wall that the router is plugged into. And when I hit that wall, the vibration of it did something to the plug and knocked our whole subdivision out. And I'm thinking, dude, your internet never works, and you're accusing me of touching my wall and knocking out our whole subdivision.
Yeah, that's weird.
Literally, that's
very weird.
Like, I wanted to throw hands that day. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was bad.
Logan says, did you get your Starlink? It's not set up, or we don't have it all yet. We've got literally the mounting pole. I don't have the antenna, the router, or the cables. So
we're still waiting on
Still waiting on all that stuff.
We're in a geographical oddity. We live evidently a month from every. Yes, Miss Louise, it was. It was such BS. I was so mad. Gosh, how are you going to tell me that? Oh, my God. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, Kyle, we got Starlink ordered. It's on the way. A video of you making a rocking chair. I've never made a rocking chair.
Mm-mm.
Are there any brushless drill drivers you would recommend? Also Woodworks. Yeah, DeWalt makes good ones. Basically any modern, like even Ryobi, Skill, like any of the modern brands now are making good stuff. So I don't think you have any trouble with it.
There's no trouble with the internet in Rome.
Yeah, I heard internet's
Rome,
awesome
Georgia.
there. Yeah.
That's funny. I'm excited to see if it's going to make a difference too.
I hope so, because I am. We're on cable internet right now. Yeah, I'm hoping it gets better.
See, Tim, I was kind of that way too. Like, you're telling me that if I touch my wall and it knocks out my whole subdivision, then what's wrong with your equipment?
Exactly.
Like, that was so weird to me. And then I told the guy, I said, I have not touched the wall, because he kept saying the wall got touched. It was a wall behind a shelf that goes all the way to the ceiling.
Our pantry.
The pantry. I said, I have not touched that wall. And the washing machine and dryer is in the room next to it. He looks over and he's like, well, your washer could have vibrated through the wall. And I'm like, first of all, the walls aren't touching. I guess it could have vibrated through the floor, but that still makes no sense.
A lot of people love their Starlink. So I bought the Enterprise antenna and paid for a terabyte, I think is what we're paying per month for priority. So hopefully that'll fix our woes.
We'll see.
We will see.
I'm so excited.
Amanda wants to know what his name is.
I don't know. I wish I knew what his name was. He never came back. He probably was like, I'm not going back to that crazy woman's house. Stephen Lepo, welcome to our One Before Supporter Club.
Thank you. Is the rigid 13-inch planer decent for a beginner? Yeah, I think it's a good planer. A lot of people have that. A lot of people love it. It was on sale at Home Depot in certain locations not too long ago.
I don't know if it's cheap equipment. Paul says sounds like a lot of excuses. I think they made up stuff like crazy. I could not figure out, though, why he showed up at our house that day. Because it was funny because our internet had just gone out, and I told Matt, I said, the internet's out again. We get the dogs start barking. That's what it was. And Matt sees somebody walking around our yard.
Yeah, they walk like to the side of the house. I'm like, and then, who's in my yard?
Yeah, because the dogs were going nuts. And then we hear a knock on the door, and it's the guy. He walked around to our box on the side of the house before he knocked on the door, and he was like, y'all have knocked out the whole subdivision. I'm like, what? Like,
makes no sense.
How?
Vincent says, I was bedridden for 3 months. Sorry to hear that. Last year, I watched your videos. As I laid there, I ordered tools. And when I recovered, I built my workshop in my basement. Now everyone has a cutting board. That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, sounds like cheap equipment. It is.
Yeah.
So I had before, I think it's been worse since they installed what they have now. We had our own Eero router with the extenders and all in the house, and it done okay. Like, we still had trouble here and there. And then they come in and put in this new router that
just
takes
a couple
away.
Months ago.
It takes away from that, yeah. And then it also has an Eero extender somewhere else.
Two of them.
Two of them.
There's one in the hall and one.
And our house is only like 1,700 square feet, so it's not like it's a big house.
No.
And I'm like, it still don't work. It's worse. So I don't know. Tip number 3, we'll get to that. See how we got there? Tip number 3 on getting more sales is you want to take care of the customers who take care of you, right? Because it's much, much easier to get a repeat customer than it is a new customer. So keep that in mind. You want to make them feel special when they buy something. And that can be a whole different, a bunch of ways. You can write them a handwritten note and give it to them as a card when they pick it up. Say, hey, thank you for your order. Now, what she's done is she gives out a survival kit. And it's just got some little goodies in the little package for them. And when they get their order, if it's a physical order, they get this survival kit. And it's just a little thing to brighten their day, basically. And it's like there's a few sayings on there.
And I package each of them myself.
One by one.
By hand.
Herself, by her hand. And
by order, per order.
Yep,
so
per order.
I don't have them pre-made. I pack it per order for that person every time. So I know who's getting what every time I send them. So
yep.
It's just the way I do it.
Primal Rick says, I'd like to volunteer to be the unfortunate soul that takes out your worn out equipment you have in your shop. I really want to have an idea I want to do.
Well, it was my idea.
Yeah, it was her idea.
And I really want to do it. Like, I really
I'd like to go somewhere and set up and just have a yard sale.
Everything for
$1.
$1.
Like everything. Not, IKEA stuff. But, other stuff I could sell for $1.
Oh, I'm so glad Eric said the survival kit was a wonderful thing to get as part of my order.
That is awesome.
I love doing those. And I've had to kind of change them up as time has changed. I used to put like a little bag of dust in each one. And it literally, y'all have no idea, but it took hours upon hours upon hours to get the dust in these little baggies. And I hate it to take that part out. But as my
workload
task grew, I had to do something. And Matt kept telling me, he was like, you may just have to not do a survival kit and just throw a sticker in to each thing. And so I had to really sit down and think, and this is part of what you have to do sometimes when you run a business. What can I do that is going to make it to where I can still get everything done, but I also still make my customer always feel like they're special and important. And I felt like if we took the whole kit out and just put a sticker in there, anybody can do that. So I sat down and I was like, okay, the time-consuming part of this is that dust, and I hate it to do that. But the dust was just kind of something I threw in anyway. Everything else is what really had the meaning behind it to me. So, sometimes you just have to do that, but value at it. Yeah, MB.
That's right. Adam says, will an 8 1/4 table saw be too small when used with a sled? Should I get the 7? If you can budget the bigger saw, you'll be much happier with it long term. You can build a small sled. I think 3x3 Customs have a video on building a small sled for those 8 1/4 style saws. But if you can budget the 10-inch saw, you'll be, it's going to work for you longer. It'll serve you better, I think. Scott wants to know, did I find any Black Friday deals? I only bought gym equipment on Black Friday.
Miss Louise says, take better care of your customer than your cable company is doing. See?
Exactly.
They've never brought me a survival kit. All I would want is a router that works or something.
Eric says the survival kit was a wonderful thing to get as part of my order. Paula M says it was a nice surprise. Thank you.
MB says stickers 99% of the time go in the trash. I agree with you a lot of times. We order from Sticker Mule. And every time you order from Sticker Mule, they send you one of their stickers. And every time, as soon as I see it fall out, I stick it in the trash. Not because... I love Sticker Mule, and that's where we order from, but I just don't need 5,000 stickers from Sticker Mule.
Sticker from.
So I agree with you. Yeah, MB, I've had people do that too, draw on a flap of a box. I've also had people stick something on it. So, like, they take a piece of double-sided tape and stick something on the box. Like, I think a place on Etsy, I ordered maybe a pair of earrings or something. I think they stuck a butterfly or something on the box with the double-sided tape, and I thought that was kind of cool. Sticker Mule, aren't they the ones that also send hot sauce?
If you don't take it out after you order a certain amount, they get you. It's called mule sauce. It's basically just hot sauce. Yeah. They'll throw a bottle in with your order if you order so much. I always try to take it out because we don't use it. LML says, what's a good miter saw for small projects? Can't get my 12-inch to cut true. The Skill is on sale right now. It's a 10-inch saw. It's on sale on Amazon for $199. It's the lowest price it's ever been. It's a carryover from Cyber Monday. So that's a good saw if you're looking for a really good budget option saw. If you want to go higher than that, Makitas are on sale right now at Acme Tools today only, actually. I think they're $80 off, but those things are several $100s, talking like $700-800. So it just depends on what your budget is. Also, the DeWalt DWS S779 is also on sale. I think it's on Amazon. If not, check Lowe's or Home Depot. They should have the same saw for $399. So it just depends on your budget there.
STL said that he gets a ton of stickers from Super Clear Epoxy, and he keeps them because he said one day he's going to do a giveaway if someone can guess how many stickers are in
That's
like
a good idea.
pile.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I like that. Look at you thinking outside the box, Greg.
Awesome says, where would you recommend selling woodworking items for beginners? Facebook. I've seen a bunch of people still doing very good just selling their stuff on Facebook. It's just a good place to go.
It really is.
It's really easy.
Logan Cross says, Miss 731, how's your turning going? It is not. I haven't had time.
Y'all, she has packed, I think we counted up today, over the last week, over 500 cans of board butter we sold. And so that's literally all she's done all day, every day. I think one night she was in there till 7 p.m. making board butter. From the time she gets up to the time she gets, like, it's just constant dispatching that. We had a big Black Friday sale and we sold a bunch of board butter. And so that's literally all she's had time to do. So.
I normally make board butter about 2 to 3 times a month, and I've made it 3 different days in the past 4 or 5 days.
Like a couple hundred cans at a time. So it's
been crazy.
It's been rough on her. Devil Dog says, I'm new to the channel. Thank you. He says, I just signed up for a 6-week woodworking class free for veterans. That's amazing. And thank you for your service. Appreciate you.
Oh, that is cool. I like your name too, Devil Dog.
Devil
Dog Prepper.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's a Marine, Devil Dog.
I like that. We have a Marine in the family.
Yep.
He's special to us. He's our surrogate son. He's a pilot now.
Yeah, he's trying to. He wants to be a commercial pilot, and now he's got his pilot's license. He's working his way toward commercials.
And if I ever see him as the pilot of a flight that I'm getting on, I'm getting off. He is the most accident-prone person I've ever met in my life. And I told him I don't ever want him to fly me anywhere.
Cover Pup, no, it's not the $300 saw. It's typically $249. So right now it's $199 for that skill saw. Tim Lawrence says my rigid 12-inch miter saw is awesome. Does have a big footprint though.
Smare, baby.
How profitable is board butter? It depends. If we're running a sale like we did for Black Friday, we don't make very much on it at all. On normal days, it's a decent profit margin. So it's
only because I do everything in house.
Yeah, we don't farm anything out, so everything's bought. Everything's bought, and then we basically package it all up, melt our boiling border. We have our own melter, and she does all the melting and packaging and all that here. If we had to farm all that out, then the profit margin would be probably near nothing.
One of our mistakes on the board butter is we buy our supplies from Amazon.
Yeah, I mean we could optimize that.
Yeah,
and I have been told we should, but we just haven't.
And packaging we buy from Amazon,
or
but
Sticker Mule or wherever.
We don't have the capability to store 500 boxes of one size to order from somewhere.
Yeah, we just don't have it.
Some of these places that give you discounts. If you don't order a certain number, you have to pay shipping, and the shipping negates the discount that they're giving you. So, I don't know.
Did the boost in sales offset the discount? Probably. I mean, but we're still making less per can. But the benefit is we gain customers.
Yeah.
And so if we can take care of those customers, then we'll have a repeat customers, especially if they like the product. And right now, everybody seems to love the board butter. So they're leaving reviews like crazy on there. And so it's one of those things we'd like to eventually get on store shelves or whatever. But that's
and I
in the
pride
future.
myself at filling the board butter all the way to the edge of the top. Like you get a full can.
Full 2 ounces or 4 ounces, depending on the can.
Yeah, like I get it all the way. I don't want to short anybody and all that stuff. MB says, you guys order on demand or do you stock sales inventory ahead of time? It was a little rough this time. I try to keep all that stuff in stock. I normally try to keep 500 to 600 cans available to me, not including the ones that are already made. But because we sold so much more this time than normal.
It was way more than normal.
And there's some shipping delays because of the holiday I ordered extra supplies over a week ago before the holidays, and they still have not come in. They're not coming in until next week. So it did get me kind of behind because I sold everything I had available to me. And there's one order I'm not able to fill. Mia, what are you doing, child? And so I had to message somebody.
Girl, get down.
Hey, guess what time it was?
Power tip time. The power tip is, along with tip number 3, is just take care of your customers. You know, make them feel like you appreciate them, and they'll take care of you from there.
So, and I think Vibe Internet is a good example of that because we've never felt like they've ever taken care of us, ever. And we've never had anything good to say about them, other than I will say my son has a good experience with them. But I'll give you a big fat for instance, as Santa Claus says. I had to call or message Cole Haan. I couldn't remember the name of it. Cole Haan. I ordered a pair of boots from Cole Haan on a Black Friday sale. And I ordered my size 8. And I got them in today. They were size 10.5, UK 8. And so I messaged the person, and instead of checking into it, the person tells me, okay, I've notated your case. Somebody will reach out to you in 2 to 3 days after we open an investigation and figure out whether or not you can get a return or a refund on this. And I was like, I told the person on the thing, I said, that's awful customer service. And the little chat person was like, what? And I said, it's really terrible customer service that you're saying this. You guys made a mistake, and you're telling me that I have to wait for you to open a case on this. Well, he, I think, starts kind of scrambling because you know how you can see the little dot where they're typing, it says agent is typing. I was waiting and waiting. And so I messaged him. I said, I own my own company too, and I would never treat a customer this way. It's really sad that you're doing this. Just go ahead and process my refund, and I won't worry about getting an exchange. He messaged and he said, well, it still would take the 2 to 3 days for them to open the case, even if we do an exchange. And I said, forget it. Don't worry about it. And I went online and processed my own return, and it was immediate. Then he messaged me and he said, I'm sorry I reached out to a manager and I misinformed you. It was an error on our part, so I can replace that for you. And I said, no, it's too late. You just lost a customer. So it's really important to people, you know, make them feel important.
Try to help them at least.
Don't make them feel like it was their fault, because that's the way I felt today. I felt like it was my fault that I ordered a US 8. I went in and looked.
Cody wants to know, where can he find the hose adapters to fit his tools for shop vac? They're Dust Right tool adapter kit, I think is what you call it. You can just search it on Amazon or Rockler, and you should be able to find it.
Ray and Sandy's Woodworking said, my wife always communicates with the customer after a sale and make sure they're satisfied. I love it when people do that. What I always do, if there's a problem with an order, and Matt's the contact, so he gets the message, and he'll say, what do you want me to tell him? And I always tell him every time, send it to me because I'm the one that filled the order. I'm the one that made a mistake, and I want to reach out to him. And I always do everything I can to make it right, whether something arrived damaged or something got, they got the wrong thing, or they didn't get enough of one thing, or whatever it is. I always try to make it right because it's not your fault if I'm sending it. You placed your order for the right thing. I made a mistake. It's just kind of the way, and I don't want him to message you because I made the mistake, not him. So I take it very serious.
Warze says, have you ever had any injuries in the shop? Yeah, I've had a few. I had a kickback on a table saw hit me right here one time when I very first started, and it left a big old bruise on my hip. And I had a kickback on a miter saw that I was sitting there rubbing this finger because it literally hurting tonight. And this happened probably 2 or 3 years ago, right in that joint right there. I broke that finger. I know I did. I didn't go to the hospital or anything, but I was cutting a way too small piece, and I knew I shouldn't have been cutting. It's one of those, you shouldn't do this, but then you do it anyway. And it grabbed, the saw blade grabbed it and kicked it back, and it literally just jammed that thumb right there. And that joint right there, I know it broke something in there because it hurt like severely for a long time. But literally tonight it's hurting. Like I was just sitting there rubbing on it because it's very, very sore. And that happened like a couple of years ago. So those are kind of the two main ones. I got scrapes and stuff like that, but nothing ever really.
He comes in a lot of times bleeding in certain places, and I'm like,
scrape something or whatever.
Like a lot of blood sometimes, a lot. I'm like, what in the world have you done?
Did you build the slat wall behind you? No, we bought that. It's really crappy quality. I forgot what the name of the company was. Literally all this is, y'all, it's got a foam insert.
Amazon makes it better.
Yeah, so there's a foam where the black lines are is foam, right? And the blue lines is just MDF. All it is, MDF. And it's got like a foam backer board on it, so it helps with the sound in here, keeps the echo down. Now, it works for that purpose. We don't have near the echo or anything. I like that part of it. But as far as quality goes, it was really bad. Like you could literally grab one of these things and pull just gently, and it'll pull the whole strip off. So it looks better than it's built.
Wendy Jones says, I just want to say thank you. I always check in with you before I purchase any new tools for my workshop. Awesome. Just starting out, and it's great to have someone with your knowledge and honesty.
Well, I appreciate that. I try to do the best we can.
Michael Mason is on here. My favorite little girl's daddy. Says, good to see you up and about, Miss Amy. I hope your ribs are cooperating more and more. Yes, they are cooperating much more. And if y'all don't know, Michael's daughter, Becca, little Becca, she's like the most precious little thing in the whole world, too. Hey, Becca, when you watch us on the replay, was in a Christmas parade. I
saw
and
it.
It was so cool. It was like the coolest Christmas parade.
Like a lot of people there. People don't show up like that.
That's
here
what I
for
told.
Christmas parade.
I know. That's what I told Melissa. I was like, man, that looked like a fantastic parade.
There's a lot of people. That was really cool.
ORT says, Amy didn't notify me that you were going live. Me?
Well, we had a little at the front. So.
Yeah.
It's like we've recovered a little bit here.
Yeah, a little.
Madra says, happy Tuesday. So glad I was able to pop in again. I'll see you guys on tomorrow's IDC show.
IDC.
See you there. Be on IDC Woodcraft stream tomorrow night. Check my community tab tomorrow. I'm going to post the link to this live stream. We'll be on there at 7 p.m. Central.
Yep. Adam says, you're awesome. You make getting into woodworking so much less overwhelming and a lot more entertaining.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. I'm glad I can help.
We call that redneck woodworking.
Yeah.
That's, it's funny that you don't have a name anywhere near that.
I know.
You went with 731. Yeah.
I should have went with redneck, I guess.
Wampajal woodworking.
Paul Ellis says, I had a table saw accident a couple of years ago, and it's still sensitive in that area. And stuff can hurt you, so it's very important to stay aware. I was talking to a guy earlier this week who he's like, man, I got a new position at work, and I've been working extra hours. I've been just dog tired, and plus he's trying to get Christmas orders out in his wood shop and stuff. He's like, I had to get out of there because I was so tired. I was scared I was going to hurt myself. And so it's one of the things you just got to be aware of. Like, just be careful, because these don't grow back. In case you don't know, they don't grow back.
Well, it's crazy because the tools out there are so dangerous. Like, it worries me. I'm a warrior. I've always been a warrior, and I hear him out there with some of that stuff, and sometimes I feel like he's not as careful as he should be.
Probably a good feeling.
I try not to walk back there and look out there very much.
Sounds worse than it is.
Benson said, I had broken ribs, and the first time I heard you say 2 before, I laughed so hard it hurt.
Oof.
I mean, I tell you what, I had 3 broken ribs, or have 3 broken ribs, and I never knew breathing could hurt so intensely. I've broken ribs here and there over years, but I guess maybe where these were or something. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was rough on her.
I have a big old bruise like across my rib cage. I don't know.
Thank you, Primal Rage. He says 731 was the first woodworking channel I found and watched. I've learned so much. Thanks for teaching me the craft. You're welcome, man. I appreciate you watching.
Cut towards your butt.
Buddy, not your body.
Not your body. That's funny.
Yeah, Christopher, we're looking forward to Starlink. I really hope it works.
Oh, man.
Just day-to-day use of the internet. Like this morning, nothing was working. No websites would load. It's literally like you're on dial-up or worse, and it's just crazy.
We only have one kid that lives home now. He's our 22-year-old, and he doesn't get up until nighttime, but he'll get up and he'll come to our bedroom. He's like, what are you doing to the internet? And we're like, dude, you've lived here long enough. It's not us.
Yeah, it's not us.
Paula, she said badly bruised her ribs, and it took about 2 months to feel even better. Yeah, I've struggled. It's been very difficult because you don't really get to slow down sometimes, and so it's really hard when you're bending over, picking stuff up, and you're doing things. I feel like I have Mia's hair. There it is. It was Mia's hair.
I saw it going.
It was tickling me. Dog hair, right?
Logan says, would you say I should get the Milwaukee track saw or the corded Festool TS55? Well, it just depends. I like both of those. I don't think you could go wrong with either one of those. They're both excellent saws. If you're already in the M18 platform, just get the Milwaukee. You'll love it. It's great. And if you're not, and it doesn't matter, and you don't want to get extra batteries in the shop, just go with the Festool. Both of those are great. Both of those excellent saws. You'll never go wrong with either one of those.
Cobra Pup, I would love to tell you that it was like this really elaborate thing where I jujitsu'd on somebody or something. But I was literally walking up on our porch holding the mailbox, like a square box with one hand and a raincoat over my head with the other, and I fell forward and the mailbox went into my ribs and broke them on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So
just a freak accident.
Just one of those things. And the mail lady had met me like on the sidewalk to give it to me, and then she was walking back, and when it happened, like I knew it hurt my knee. I didn't really feel my ribs at first, but the first thing I did, y'all, was turn around to see if she had seen that. I was like, man, I hope she didn't see that. And I turned around and she was walking away. I was like, whew.
It was bad.
Gareth Williams has been gifted a membership by Paul Ellis.
Welcome
Thank
to
you
the
so
2 Before
much.
Nation.
Welcome to the 2 Before Nation. Well, I think we kept everybody long enough.
Yep. Sorry for the internet trolls. Hopefully, I said this last week, but hopefully next week we'll have Starlink. Probably not, but it's on the way. That's all I can do. We'll hope when it
and
gets
then
here.
getting it installed maybe the next
Yeah,
problem.
I'm not the most installer savvy, so we're going to see how that works.
Ooh, Primal, that sounds awful.
A
broken
bunch of
back.
years ago.
My dad broke his back when I was little, and I just remember, like, he died when I was in my 30s, late 30s, and my whole entire life I remember, because he broke his back before I was born, but my whole entire life I remembered how he walked crooked and how he always hurt. It just never was quite right again. He worked after that, but it was awful. He had back surgery, and it was just awful. Okay. Oh, good evening, David and Todd. Good evening and good night, I guess.
Yep. Appreciate you guys, and catch you next week, Laura.
Yep.
Oh, we're 2 weeks away from doing this for 4 years straight. So.
Oh, yeah. We looked that up before the show tonight.
Yeah, December 15th, I think it is. 14th or 15th. Anyway, pretty cool.
Yep.
All right. Catch you guys.
All right. Y'all have a good week.